Hi, my name is Zach, and I'm a software engineer here at Griptape. And today I wanted to walk you through one of my workflows, which is the Snowflake image generation workflow. So over here, I've got the Griptape Nodes editor pulled up. This is our drag and drop editor for crafting workflows with these nodes, which we'll talk about. And then on the right, I've got the Griptape Nodes Python application running. And this is the main engine that orchestrates and executes these workflows. And so I'll just kick off the workflow with this run workflow button while we dive into each of the nodes here. So up first, we've got the start flow node. This is just indicating the entry point to my workflow and the parameters that I want to expose, which is just the single prompt parameter. And that's being fed into this agent node right here. This comes from the Griptape framework concept of an agent. So this is using the GPT-4.1 mini LLM model to power this agent. And additionally, you can see configured as a tool over here is the Snowflake Cortex agent. And so this is making use of the Snowflake Cortex search service and Analyst. And so if you're unfamiliar with those, we can take a peek at those in my Snowflake account over here. I've got the sales intelligence database with 2 tables for sales conversations and sales metrics. And if we take a look at the Cortex search service, we can see that I've got a search service configured against that sales conversation table. And so that's performing indexing and vectorization on that data so that we can do queries, vector queries against that data for RAG use cases. And then the Cortex analyst is configured with the sales metrics table information so that it can perform SQL queries against that table. So in my workflow over here, that means that this agent is able to respond to prompts and optionally make use of this tool here for informing its output. And the last configuration on this agent node is this rule set node. And this is just providing some instructions to guide the behavior of that agent. So we're saying to always use the Snowflake Cortex agent tool to get information on sales data in conversations and meetings, to return an image generation prompt, and that images should not be photorealistic. So with my prompt here about the top 3 sales agents from February 2024 on a podium, the agent knows to make use of the Snowflake Cortex agent tool in order to query that database for the top 3 sales agents, which it was able to do so. And then it generates an image generation prompt. So then that output is fed into this generate image node here, which as we can see, generated this cartoon image for February 2024 of those top 3 sales representatives. And finally, I have this output node here, this endflow node, which has the single output parameter. So the other thing to note about Griptape Nodes workflows is that when you save these workflows, they're actually serialized to Python files. And so this is the Python file representing this workflow. And I can actually just execute this top to bottom, just like any other Python file. It's got a main function in it here, and it exposes the parameters from the workflow that can be modified. So building on that, we have an integration within the Griptape Nodes editor that you can take advantage of, which is the publish workflow feature. And so I can publish this workflow to Griptape Cloud. And I've actually already done this. And what that results in is packaging the contents of this workflow and all of its dependencies and deploying it as a Griptape Cloud structure. And so the Griptape Cloud structure is simply a resource that can execute Python code on a cloud hosted runtime. And so I've got this Snowflake image generation workflow here in my Griptape Cloud account as a structure. Now this effectively exposes the entirety of my workflow as an API, and you can make use of that and hit that endpoint over the internet. And I did so by integrating it with Streamlit. So the Streamlit application that I have here will actually invoke that hosted structure. So let's ask it something about the sales conversation data. And then we can see this is going to kick off a structured run in the Griptape Cloud account. And here we can see that run executing with the input related to the teddy bear product idea. And we can go back to our Streamlit app over here. And we should see the output generated from our hosted workflow, which is the image generated from that conversation data about the teddy bear. The conversation discussed a teddy bear design with a flying t-shirt. So that was a walkthrough of our Snowflake powered Griptape Nodes